Welcome back to Film Fanatics. My name's Miles, and today we're talking about Asoka Episode 3. And I'll go ahead and start off by saying it's starting to pick up a little bit for me. I definitely appreciate Star Wars. I definitely appreciate what they're going. I do feel like this should have been more like either put all out at once or put together and edited a little better into like a movie or like a short film or something that's gonna, reinvigorize, Star Wars. But before I get into my breakdown, my review, my pros and my cons, I just want to thank all of my subscribers and all of my future subscribers, because all of my subscribers right now, we're part of the team. Thank you so very much. But on my future subscribers, which is you, most of the people, it's like 80-something%. So y'all should consider leaving a subscribe, because this is what I do. So support me and I'll support you. But let's get into it. So basically, in the last episode, they put a tracker on this ship to find out that they're putting a hyperdrive into another ship that's going to allow them to go to another galaxy. So that leaves us off here. And also, Sabine, she also reassumes her training as Ahsoka's Padawan. So the episode opens up with them really just training and trying to get a feel for how a Jedi moves, how a Jedi works, and really what that comes with. So a long sequence of Sabine and Ahsoka training. And, I forget the robot's name, but he's kind of like a dick. So, he's being a dick the whole time, making these other characters just slightly more likable, letting us be able to root for them just a little bit more. So, his presence allows us to like these characters more, and her learning and not being great off the rip also lets us see character development. So I do appreciate that. It's not just some BS. It's not someone, shoving us down our throat that she's just, amazing and awesome. She's good at certain things, but she has to learn other things especially if she's going to be a Jedi. So once they get over to this system, they see the ships, or they see the ship where they realize, okay, they're building something, and obviously they have the map, so obviously they're building this ship to go find out where Master Thrawn is. But on the way, the general informs Ahsoka and everybody that there is no fleet coming, there's no backup, because they just don't believe Thrawn is back, and they feel like, this is a time of peace, we're in a republic, there's no reason to get into a war. And that's a powerful sequence, and I definitely think a lot of people will enjoy that sequence and how that happens. But this leaves Ahsoka and the squad and the comrades all alone. So once they arrive to the ship, they're encountered by the bad guys. Now they're flying ships, and now everyone's the BA at flying ships. And another thing, the bad guys' ships' guns were so freaking bad. They're like a waste of space. I'm like, why do I have this ship that's gonna shoot these weak ass blasters that can't do nothing? And this whole episode is very reminiscent of Star Trek Into the Dark. If you see how that opens up, the red trees, just how Star Trek is, it just seems like Star Wars is taking from that, especially the new ones and how those work. Because in my mind, Star Trek is a freaking amazing. So definitely like those elements, but those are what that reminds me of. But after they're being pursued, a lot of things do happen. They have like I said, their guns were pretty shitty. They're pretty much eluding everything. They're trying to get more information on the ship, and the ship fires on them. It's, like I said, this episode is really basically like Star Wars The Last Jedi. Less filler, more of that space scene and ship, all that good stuff. So kind of like the Mario Kart of the series, episode of the series. So that was pretty cool. But aside from that, they get hit, and they're kind of stranded, and now Ahsoka gets outside of the ship to try to save everything. And now her lightsaber can slice a whole wing off a ship and blow it up in space. Never seen this before in Star Wars. But when Sabine gets stabbed with the freaking lightsaber, it's just a little hole in her. I'm like, bro, if I was a Sith, if I was evil in the Star Wars universe, I'm not just stabbing you. I'm like stirring spaghetti. I'm gonna put it all in you. No bullshit. I'm not playing around. You're dead. You being alive just doesn't make sense in the quest that we got going on. But like I said, Ahsoka shows out she's a BA. She slices up the ships. They eventually get to a point where they're able to get away. They're able to hide away because there's a lot of enemies, so they need to regroup because the ship was hit, and they have to take precautionary measures. So that's kind of how the story ends. We're getting a little bit more information of where our villains are doing, how they're doing it, and how our protagonists in Asoka and Sabine and their whole, group of misfits and, high-ranking officials and girl power. We're following all of them and seeing what they're doing because they're also trying to get to the bottom of this and see where the end of Admiral Thrall or General Thrall, where he's at, because apparently he has the power to start another war. And obviously we know what happens in the future of Star Wars because that's what the movies are, so this is set in the past. But aside from that, we're going to get to see what happens with Ahsoka. So like I said, I'm definitely appreciating what these movies are, or what this film is or show is reminding me of. The movies that it's reminding me of, that kind of brings it up. Like I said, the characters are really good. So I'm having a good time thus far. I think it can definitely be better, and I think as the show goes on, it'll definitely get better. But so far, my mid kind of season review, it's pretty good. Like I said, my pros are there, my cons, kind of. Just how things are executed. I guess, this is made for kids and, a new generation of Star Wars fans to kind of redefine it for them and, what Star Wars can be and what it is. So outside of that lens, I think it's all good. But if you made it to this point in the video, thank you so very, very much. Thank you so much to all my subscribers, anyone who likes, leaves a comment. Let's have a conversation here. What do you think is going to happen? How are you liking the show so far? Are you even watching the show? Are you interested? Or what's going on? Let's talk about it. And thank you so much to all the future subscribers, because we're trying to freaking get 1 billion subscribers so we can go to the movies and watch freaking Oppenheimer in 10,000 millimeters, whatever movie, Pulp Fiction. We're trying to watch every single classical great movie in 10,000 millimeters, and you have the power to get us there. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for getting to this point in the video, and have a great rest of your day. Appreciate you.